What's going on, moviegoers? So if you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. Welcome to C-Roll Productions. Could we be seeing Robert Englund in the role of the iconic slasher, the dream guy, Freddy Krueger, you guys? It's a possibility. Robert Englund is around the ballpark of about 70-something years old. But I definitely feel like there is an itch for him to come back, especially since we've been in the era of seeing these iconic horror figures return to the big screen. We've had Candyman, we had Michael Myers, we have Ghostface, we've had Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is kind of the soft reboot of bringing these iconic horror figures back to life, you guys. Now, Blumhouse Studios, ultimately, I feel like is a good studio, especially when it comes to smaller budget horror films. I mean, they brought back Michael Myers with 2018's Halloween and Halloween Kills last year, and Waiting on Halloween Ends this year, you guys. So it could be a possibility that, you know, Robert Englund's like, you know, I see the success that Halloween is getting, you know, and I like these films, they're enjoyable. Maybe we could do something with bringing back Freddy Krueger, which would be so intriguing. Now, you guys, I haven't been the biggest Freddy Krueger guy. I've always been more of a, you know, Michael Myers, Charles Lee Ray. I'm not gonna say his real name because true fans know. Well, not his real name, the name that fans know him by, right? Or, you know, Jason, right? Jason Voorhees. I've always been a fan of like those household names. And I'm not saying that, you know, the Nightmare on Elm Street films aren't great. You know, I still think that, you know, look, ultimately, I feel like the second film is probably the worst horror movie I've ever seen. Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is so bad, you guys. I'm being honest with you. I despise that second film so much. But I love the original. The original was so good. What Wes Craven did, it was really freaking awesome. I love Dream Warriors was cool, but I really liked A New Nightmare. So I definitely go, you know, the OG, The New Nightmare, and then possibly I put for the third spot, Freddy versus Jason, you know, because like I said, the franchise it's had its up and downs. And, you know, with the whole, you know, reboot back, was it 2008 or 2009 with the guy who played Rorschach in Watchmen, you know, it was okay. It had its moments. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. You know, Freddy vs. Jason for me was definitely a film that was a guilty pleasure. Like, I just love Robert Englund. I love him as Freddy. You know, what I feel like what was missing from the remake in 2008 or 2009 was the comedic horror that Robert Englund brings to the character. He really brings that comedic element to it that works so well. But, you know, this is coming from Bloody Disgusting, you guys. I'm going to read you guys some of this article. Let's get into it. So Jason Blum believes he could get Robert Englund to play Freddy Krueger one more time. Jason Blum has made it clear many times over the years that he loved to bring the Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th franchises into the Blumhouse family alongside Halloween and The Exorcist, which is certainly always a possibility in the future. I forgot about The Exorcist film that they're doing. Holy shit. Okay. The Friday rights are still tangled up in a legal mess, of course, but what's with the latest on the Elm Street franchise? Speaking with Screen Rant while promoting The Black Phone, which I cannot wait to watch, last week, Jason Blum indicated that if Blumhouse is able to get into bed with Freddy, he's confident he'll be able to get Robert Englund back to play the Dream Demon one more time. This despite Englund saying several times in recent years that his days of donning the makeup are probably behind him, which kind of makes sense. It must be kind of exhausting to wear all of that makeup, especially around the age of 75 years old. I could make him come back, Blum tells Screen Rant. I could get anyone back. I mean, Ellen Burstyn, I think that's how you say her name, was 87, and I got her in the up-and-coming sequel to The Exorcist. Holy shit. 87 years old and she's back for the sequel. That tells me something, that the script must be phenomenal. But I still have my reserves, as we all should. Continuing on. 75, he's young, Blumhouse continues, referring to Englund. It's been a few years since we've heard a peep about the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, with Bloody Disgusting reporting back in 2019 that Craven Estate was seeking out pitches for a potential next installment in the series. The U.S. rights to the franchise reverted back to the Craven Estate a few years ago. So they're holding the cards at the moment. Very interesting. Look, I think it could work, especially if they decide to do the direct sequel to the originals, like they always do in these up and coming kind of remakes, or or the rebirths of these franchises, with Halloween, of course, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre recently, Scream 2022 was a direct sequel to Scream 4. So it could work. What if they decide, you know what? All the other films after Nightmare 2 are no longer canon, and we're just going to go right after, the first one. It could work. That seems to be like the new normal. But I really loved, the new Nightmare. I thought it was a fantastic film. What if they did a direct sequel after the new Nightmare? Could be a possibility. But I really want to know what you guys think about this. I mean, look, Robert Englund, he's up there in age. And, they tried to reboot it and it didn't work. And if it did work, they would have made more movies. So maybe a reboot isn't what they need. What they need is a continuation of the originals, having Robert Englund come back. And maybe, who knows, they flesh out a 3-arc story and Robert Englund loves the script. He's like, absolutely, let's get this done. Hopefully by the time I'm 80, I'll be done with this and we can move on. Because I'm pretty sure, to do what? 3 films, of A Nightmare on Elm Street and having Robert Englund, he'll probably get done around 81. Damn, 81 still playing the iconic slasher Freddy Krueger. How awesome is that, you guys? But damn, I'm excited, man. I definitely want to see, a Nightmare on Elm Street film. It's been a long time. I want to see a Friday the 13th film. You guys, I got this killer idea for an entire reboot of this franchise, but I'm not going to spoil anything because I have a feeling that with my pitch, it could do wonders. Like huge. I have this idea in my head that I need to flush out. I need to get it out of my head because it would be awesome. And I don't want to say anything because I don't want my ideas replicated or to get out. But, I really got to learn the process of screenwriting and all that good stuff so I can pitch or get my log line ready so I can pitch to the studio. Once the whole legal matters for Friday the 13th are done, I can pitch to the studio like, look, this is what I got planned. This is a great idea. Maybe we should move forward with it. Why not? That would be so awesome. Damn, can you imagine? Imagine they use like partial of like my whole script or some shit, or even like a pitch that I had and they're like, we wouldn't run with this. Okay, so what more? Okay, we like that. That would be a dream come true. But put your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about Jason Blum having the confidence saying that he can get Robert Englund back to play Freddy Krueger one more time. Thoughts and opinions, you guys. What do you guys think? Would you want to see a direct sequel from the originals or just a whole new take on the story and having Robert come back? Post your comments down below and let me know what you guys think. Peace.